Hey, Stormer onto my science. It's me, Speckles Professor. Here's what we're doing in this video. I am turning avatar bending types into dragons. The first one was the Firebending. I turned that into a winged Hydra. Then I turned the Earthbending into a Drake. Then I turned Waterbending into a winged Worm, an aquatic type for the record. And the final one, Airbending, I turned that one to a Asian dragon, or I personally call them Asian Gons. So, let's get into this video. Let's roll intro and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, I'm back with going over some more dragons. These dragons are known as the Bending Dragons. The reason why they're called that is because of the fact that they can bend different elements to their will. And these are the most powerful of the species. These dragons have the abilities from every single other one. We're starting off with the Firebending Dragon. This one is actually a rare species called a winged Hydra. This one, the creature name for it is Firebending Cerberus Ringed Hydra. Cerberus because, according to mythology, Greek mythology that is, Hades has Cerberus is a three-headed hound that guards the gates to the underworld. And there is a Cerberus Drake. So, yeah. So, from what I can find out, these winged creatures were genetically made in a lab using the DNA from a Cerberus and the DNA from a Cerberus Drake, that is, and the DNA from a Hydra, not a Hydra, a Cerberus Hydra and a regular dragon. Now, in their own right, they are powerful. The central head has some type of some bending called combustion bending. It's just a little marking on their forehead that looks like an eye. That right there is can shoot. That means that head can shoot the explosive blast from their mouth. But it's more of a straight line with it's more of a black line with some smoke clouds. But when it comes in contact with the target or anything, it makes a massive explosion. And for the record, another creature, another winged Hydra I've won over, the only other one was the dual-headed Icy Hot. So, yeah, they are quite a rare species. But, yeah, the most common of the rare species are gotta be the Wyvgons. Those things are just reproducing like rabbits, just basically because their eggs can have around a 75% hatching rating, while the usual dragon rating for hatchings, and survival rating for the hatching is actually around closer to 60%. But these dragons, there's only a few hundred of them in the wild because of how powerful they are and how dangerous they are. They are very sportsmanlike on the account that they really love hunting. But they have the two other heads. One head can actually breathe a blue flame. The other head can breathe lightning. But then again, it can bend fire, like regular fire using its legs or whatever. Let's say these dragons do have some type of healing factor. It's a very minor one, but it's still a regeneration factor, was it? I believe it was a regen factor for monsters and healing factor for humans. Yeah, it was a regeneration factor, or better known as a regen factor. The regen factor is pretty decent on these monsters, on these dragons, on the count that you can shoot through their wings, but you're going to be very hot. Fire, like around a cruel sun levels, around half a cruel sun power to actually burn through their wings because, heat resistant. But if you can do that, they're about 2 days later, the wing will be fully healed. That's if you completely eviscerate the flesh wing part. like, basically just sends it all off. Give them 2 days, it will fully heal. But, like, you just put a few holes in it, give it, like, an hour or so, it will fully heal. But, something like the, domestic, black dragon, yeah, you can barely put a dent in it. The only reason why I've been able to put some holes in my dragon's wings is because I actually have some weaponry I've gotten from Spike's 1000 himself. And let's just say, he wasn't really happy when I asked for them. Because he knew that I was hunting other dragons, and some dragons are so strong, I need demoss weapons to get through their hide. So, yeah. And also, the next time I'm going over dragons, I will be going over and telling you all a story of of 2 different species I've encountered while actually going on a quest to get a hybrid species I really like and haven't really heard of. I more or less discovered this hybrid species myself. It's my main dragon, but then again, I also met the that's where I also found out about the Avagon, the Cocoon King. They're a rare hybrid, and then they're the my main dragon's hybrid. I actually do have the Avagon and the Cocoon King, and they're hybrid as other dragons as well. But wingspan for these dragons is actually around 50 feet. So yeah, pretty small, pretty big wingspan for a dragon this size. And they are also, like I said, pretty aggressive, and they can weigh up to a few tons. So yeah, let's go to the next one. The next dragons I'm going over are a type of drake known as the Terror Drakes. This is the off branch of the Terror Drake family. These drakes are known as the Earthbending Terror Drake. Now, Terror Drakes in general are known to have some semblance to have a bonding with the Earth in general. Now, in reality, they do have some knowledge and individuality with the Earth, because some of their body is actually made up of the Earth they inhabit. So, yeah, things can get quite interesting with those dragons. Now, the earthbending part is because they have pretty good control over pretty much anything that can come from the earth. Whereas average terrabending drakes can mostly just stomp their legs and have giant pillars or spikes or giant walls of earth come up. Now, these drakes are a lot more powerful. They can bend molten rock, aka magma or lava, sand, and metal, and also regular earth. They mostly prefer to use regular earth in common type attacks, but let's say they're having to deal with a very long range opponent that is pretty difficult. They will most likely use some type of sand attack to actually blind their opponent if the opponent is very eagle-eyed, but not very strong, and also very fast. And because the dragon, if they're very sharp-eyed, or better termed, eagle-eyed, and very fast, these dragons need their eyesight in order to keep their speed up, because of the fact they need to see where they're going. So, one good sandblast to the eyes, they're blind and they're going to hit a wall or something. They can use the magma for an offense if something is trying to grab at their skin. They have the ability to actually turn their skin to molten rock, because they actually eat dirt, but they actually do live in magma at times. They bathe in it like it's just a hot spa. They use the metal to actually form walls in order to resist a very, very strong attack. Now, they can also have rocks levitate around them and shoot off little parts of them. And trust me, it's quite interesting to see how that actually ends up going into an actual dragon attack. They are very similar, well, for the record, they are actually another hybrid species of a racing drake and a siege drake. this racing drake is because they are very fast, but the siege is because they're also very strong. And they have a little bit of pit drake in them because of how big they are. The bigger part of their body is how much they weigh. Because of that, but it's mostly war, aka siege drake, and a racing drake, which has big legs. Like I stated, they're big legs and they're very fast. Their full length from snout to tail is actually around 20 feet, and they can weigh up to around, I believe, 2 tons. Well, technically closer to 1 ton. But the 2 tons is fully grown, and their average lifespan is around 2,000 years. Not 2,000, 20,000, sorry. And the average lifespan for the last dragon I went over was around, I want to say, 50,000 years. So yeah, these dragons can get old. Like I already stated, the next time I'm going over dragons, which will most likely be this Thursday, because this video is going to be a little longer, so I need some time to work on it. I'm going to be telling a story of how my character Karma, met his main dragon, along with 3 other dragons he still has today. Now, let's get back into this video. Now, these next dragons are actually very interesting. These dragons are actually another species of winged worms that I went a lot over in the first time I started cataloging these dragons in audio and video form. They are known as the Waterbending Aquatic Winged Worm, or Waterbending Winged Worm. The winged worm is because they're actually part sea orc. Just a very, very ugly and very big underwater aquatic worm-like dragon. It's very freaky, to be honest. But they are only around half the size of those dragons. And usually they only grow to be around 100 feet long. Whereas the sea orcs can get a whole lot bigger in both size and actual body mass. These things are just smaller and sometimes at full size. They're about half the size. Not as scary as looking like either. They can eat about a quarter worth of school of fish. So yeah, their full on wingspan is around 100 feet, and their full body length is around 200 feet. They can bend anything you think of that is water related. They can use blood bending so well, actually, they can actually bring the blood out of you and use that as a weapon. But they can also use water bending, and water bending can actually be used to heal them. They do have a misted breath attack, so they can also use their ability to bend water around them and actually sharpen it into icicles and pretty much telekinetically throw it at your face. And I've seen a few of these actually be able to actually throw the ice attacks, and then on impact the ice just freezes and causing a giant area. I think that's because it actually I've only seen that when I'm in a field. I think the reason why for that is because it's taking the water from surrounding plants and actually freezing it solid. But since the water, when it freezes, it expands, it causes them to shoot out of the plants. Now, yeah, and afterwards, when I put out all the get rid of all the ice, I always find the plant dead from dehydration, no water in it at all. So that kind of backs up my theory. These things are actually relatively nice to humans. They are very calming and very nice dragons. They're actually known to heal sailors that are being ravaged and attacked by sea orcs. They fend off the sea orc and then heal their heal the sailors. But these dragons can also tell. They also have very good memory. I remember this one case. One of them actually went after someone that killed its mother. The thing decided not to kill the guy, but it scared the living crap out of him. So, yeah, these dragons can actually hunt you down. So, do not mess with them. They won't mess with you. By that, I mean do not kill one of them, or they will try to kill you. Now, for blend baiting, it's actually a rare art. Some can actually use it without. Most can have to use it around a full moon, but some have the ability to actually use it without a full moon, because at their highest peak is actually at midnight and at full moon time. So yeah, you can see why they do that. That's why they're prime per month. So yeah, these dragons are quite dangerous. Let's get to the next one. Okay, the final one I'm going over today is another Asian dragon, better known as an Asian god. This one's known as the Airbending Twister Asian dragon, or Airbending Asian god. They are known to breathe some type of twister, but the air they breathe is so strong when they want it to. It's known to be able to shred right through a mountain in their prime. So yeah, it just goes for show, do not piss one of these off. These dragons also have spikes going on their back, which are actually very light, weirdly enough, but they're also very durable. I've actually managed to find one of these that was cut off from a dragon actually fleeing away from another that was hunting it. These dragons are actually usually very peaceful, but when endangered, they will resort in fighting. They're actually very, very aggressive when they want to fight. But they're mostly vegetarians. A few of them do eat meat, but very, very, very rarely. On the very rarely parts, like when they're very low and very hungry, to be honest. Like back to that story I was telling you. I found out it was actually from a dragon, from one of these airbending Asian gods. I found it not too far away. Another dragon, I believe it was a Firebending Hydra was about to attack it. I decided to fend off that dragon. For some reason, these two dragons don't really like each other. But I've actually seen one be friends with them together, with another, and be friends with two other dragons. Turns out that one was actually, after I later found out, that one was actually a rare subspecies of the Avagon, known as the Earthbending Avagon. Every now and again, each of these dragons actually have an Avagon born within their group. It's a very rare occurrence, but on even rarer occurrences, you can just get the regular old Avagon, which is actually a whole lot more powerful. Because these Avagons are so rare, there's only like one or two found every year. And this is actually information I found out later on after I researched the Kagoon Avagon. It turns out these dragons, the Avagons, are actually only born every time, and they can only lay eggs every few years because they're so rare. And get this, there's actually 4 Avagons per other race. So yeah, you can see that these dragons are really rare. But at most, there's been 1,000 of them in the wild, and only around 20 of the more powerful Avagons. I might go over the Airbending Avagon sometime later, but hey, trust me, these things are really powerful. Let's just get to the next. Well, actually, that's all the dragons I'm going over for today. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video because that's all the time I got for today. Until next time, subscribe to Airbending Drake or Demons Alliance. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.